Sure. Thanks a lot. Matthew Lee, Inner City Press. Ms. Johnson, I wanted to ask first about the human rights officer of the UN that was I guess, PNG'd or expelled from the country in November. What was behind that and what's been done by UNMISS since then? And also about the Russian helicopter that was shot down by the SPLA. There were some complaints from the Russians about not getting the black box, about how slow the investigation was. Where does it stand, and do you think there'll be some final report by UNMISS or something before the session of the Security Council later in the month? Thanks a lot.
Gentleman here on the corner.
Thank you. From the AFP news agency, can you tell us a bit more about the David Yao rebellion, insurgency, and what do you hope to achieve there by sending the troops? If you don't support the SPLA there, what can you do there?
Then to the human rights officer, yes, there was the term used was not PNG, but was we're expecting the person to leave within a number of hours. We have raised it as the highest level several times. This is not going to be turned around. And so basically what we have done is to again highlight the importance of the diplomatic privileges and immunities that any UN staff member has, and to underline the need for respect and compliance with the SOFA. This goes also with regard to the shoot down of the Russian helicopter, a tragic and totally unacceptable incident. We are now expecting the Board of Inquiry, that is an independent inquiry by the UN, which is not done by us because we are to be subject to the inquiry as a mission. They have said that they are expecting the report to be finished mid-March, but I don't know whether they're on track. We're trying to find out whether that's the case. Secondly, there is an investigations report underway from the government. That has been promised from their end to be completed by May 10. So that's the two dates that we know of in terms of the investigations. As regards the voice recorder and the black box, they were handed over to the Russian authorities on time. We had a delegation going to Moscow. Our Deputy Chief of Staff joined that with both South Sudanese and Russian experts. And everything was done according to the procedures of the international aviation authorities and CIO, isn't that what it's called, CIO, the aviation convention. And I understand that from the reports I received after that, both from Russian authorities, I met with the ambassador in Kampala and I've met with the Perm Rep here, that they were happy with what happened then in terms of handover. And the handover arrangements went well. Now, following that, of course, the expectation is that we have a transparent, speedy and thorough investigation, and that any culprits are held to account. And that's the message that I think comes from Russian authorities as well as from the UN here, as well as from the mission. Then to the question from AFP, I want to underline again that the mission UNMISS does not have joint operations with the SPLA. We are working independently in the sense that we have our own protection of civilians mandate, and the SPLA operates according to their military priorities. But we do liaise with them and cooperate, but we do not have joint operations. With regard to David Yao, this implies that if the military operations start, as we think they might quite soon, we will have to be present on the ground to protect civilians to the maximum extent possible, as it says in the resolution, and within capabilities. And the reason why I have to say this is that it looks as if there will be an attempt at protecting civilians so that they can be in grazing areas along water points, and that the operations will be on the west side of the river. And we're expecting the civilians to, in that respect, be protected from most of the hostilities. But of course, in any situation like this, we never know. And of course, we can also see armed elements try to move into civilian areas, and hence we can see civilians potentially be impacted. So it's going to be a big challenge for us to protect civilians in that respect. We are going to be present with more troops in several of the areas of settlements in Peebo County, as well as in the Lao Nur areas. But the challenge of this logistically is going to be very, very significant.